All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm gonna try and keep this video short, man. Alright? You women need to stop being proud, man. Alright? Because you've got this female boxer here, Claressa Shields, that she's calling out Keith Thurman, right? She's calling out Keith Thurman, and her professional record, I'm gonna read it out from what I can see, and something else I've got on another screen somewhere that you can't see. Her professional record is 14 fights, 14 wins, so she's unbeaten, right? But her amount of knockouts is 2. And that's against women. So it's not like she's got hands, right? It's rare to even see women in combat sports even get knockouts, really. Especially in boxing, man. Or for them to even get stoppage wins, especially in boxing. So I don't understand why this woman's calling out a man, right? When she's not even doing too great against women. And she showed this sparring, which if you want to see her sparring against men, you can just go on the internet and type in Claressa Shields sparring men, and you'll see it, man. Right? You'll see shit like the fact that women, the proof that she's not as good as she thinks she is, and that she shouldn't even be calling out men, is that when you look up her sparring, I don't even think that you'll find much footage of her sparring with women. That's the point. Right? If women are so strong and they should be competing with men, women should be able to just spar with women. But if you know, I'm just thinking about that now. If you notice, most of these female fighters, right, when they spar with men. Like, I can't even think of no female fighters that I can think of right now. Any of these professionals that I see them spar with women. I don't really even see that happen. Why? Why do they spar with men? Why don't they spar with women, man? Think about it, anyone that watches combat sports. Think about how many times you see women spar with other women. How often does that even happen? And after this video, I'm going to actually look and search that up, because I can't really recall too many times that happens, man. And there's a reason for that. Because women are not as strong as men, man. And there's a story in the book of Esther where one queen didn't want to go to the Persian king, and then she rejected him. And then this is what they said. Esther chapter 1 and verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti, the queen, be brought before him, but she came not. And that's going to make all other women proud. Just like how this woman calling out this man, right? That's going to be reported across the world, right? And that's what women do, man. They hear about a woman's wickedness, right? And if that woman doesn't get judged for it, then they'll be like, well, I'm going to use that in my back pocket for future reference. I'm going to try and get away with a bit of that as well, right? So when women see a woman commit adultery, they're like, man, let me just watch and see what happens to her. And if the woman gets away with it or gets a financial benefit, then in the future, other women are going to do that, man. And that's why when these women that are running their mouth in the streets, right, against men, you never hear the woman say anything to that man until the man goes upside that woman's head. Then you see him say, stop, that's a female. But you don't ever hear her tell the woman to shut the fuck up, because that's a man. Watch your fucking mouth, because he could knock your head off. You don't ever hear them say that. Isn't it interesting? You don't ever hear these women stop the woman from doing no wickedness. They always try and stop the woman receiving judgment, because that's part of the wicked ways of women, man. That's a part of a woman's wicked nature that they have, man. Right? But for all you women out there that think they can fight, man, you're gonna get the chance, man. You're all gonna get the chance to show your hands, man. To show your feet. To show how tough you really think you are, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and what is fretful of necks and wanton eyes, and it's getting even more proud. Walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. In that day Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round ties like the moon. So all the things that make women proud is supposed to be about their beauty. But somewhere along the line, women are getting even more proud and are starting to think that they can compete in the things that men compete in, which is physical strength. There never used to be a time where women, that's not normal for women to want to compete with men in physicality. That's not normal, man. There's something wrong with a woman if she's doing that. There's something wrong in a woman's mind where she's thinking that she can defeat men. But then if men really show if every single man in the world right now, man, was to just say, you know what, we don't want no women to have rights anymore. They're not having them. They wouldn't be having no rights. They'd all be having their heads covered again, man. Or be getting put to death. And that's the reality of life. That women try and pretend like they don't understand. Because for the longest time, that reality has been hid from them. But Yahweh is going to show that reality to them again. And that's why after everything's said and done, women are going to be seeking seven women are going to be seeking one man. There's not going to be 7 men running to one Clarissa Shield saying, protect us. We're our own apparel. We'll make our own bread. Only let us be called by her name to take away our reproach. Save me. We ain't going to be doing that. We ain't going to be doing that, man. If a man stumbles upon a woman with food in that time, he'll be able to take that woman's food away from them. Whereas if a woman stumbles upon a man with food, she's going to have to hope that he's got a kind heart and wants to give her some. That's the only way she'll get fed in that time. That's the only way, man. And that's the reality that women don't want to understand, but it's going to be shown to them, man. Verse 18, and in that day, Yahweh will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cords and their round ties like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins. And the only reason why this woman's calling out this man to fight, right, is because she's living in America, in a first world country where women can run around saying whatever madness they want to say and they get protected by other men. That's the only reason why she's going on like that, man. It would be an American so-called black woman that would come out of her mouth saying that. And I'm not trying to say that there hasn't been Edomite women coming out and saying the same thing, because I mentioned Ronda Rousey, if I'm not mistaken, in this video. But I think even Ronda Rousey potentially could be an Israelite anyway. She was able to make loads of women want to take part in that combat sports and all that. She could be. But either way, she's still a woman from Babylon. Verse 23, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair boldness, and instead of a stomach a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. So it's all right for women to try and call out men when everything's peaceful, right? And where the times are at peace, right? But even among men, we know, man, a man can almost look at another man and be like, man, if I was to get into a fight with that guy, that fight ain't gonna go very peacefully, man. I think that there's a lot of danger related to me fighting that guy. They can feel the energy of that. But for some reason, women don't feel that, man. And part of the reason is because a lot of women are overweight, right? So Keith Thurman weighs about probably 160 pounds. And this woman, Clarissa Shield, she weighs about the same. She's probably about the same height and same weight as him, right? So when she's standing in front of these guys, she thinks, man, I'm as big as him, so I can beat them up. That's what she thinks in her mind. She thinks, oh, he's small. But no, you weigh too damn much. That's what it really is. And a man and a woman at the same size are not the same strength, because a man's muscle is way more dense than a woman's anyway. Their bone density is greater. They have higher levels of testosterone. They can recruit more muscles to produce force. Many other things, man. Higher oxygen, higher lung capacity, which means for greater stamina. Like, it's ridiculous, man. I think I could outbox him. How about you just fight women? How about you do that? How about if you're tired of fighting women in the boxing ring, go to MMA and fight some of them then? Go fight some women in MMA, man. And not none of the whack ones neither. Fight some of the good ones. The ones that do submissions and all that stuff. Go fight them. Don't fight no one that's just some whack woman. Go fight one of the ones that could break your arm if you think you're so tough. Go do that. Don't try and have a rigged match to where you think you're tough. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And that's why it goes around that some of you women, Israelite women's box ain't smelling righteous around here, man. It's stinking up the place, man. And instead of a girdle of rent, you fatten out of shape, man. And instead of well set hair, boldness, right? That's why the Most High, Yahweh, has took away your hair, because you're proud, man. And you're going around running your mouth talking like you can fight men. Why? Why are you doing that for? Why are you putting it out there that you want to do that? Be the best at your own sport, man. Because if they start making these teas start entering into your sport and competing, then what? If women were so great and fighting, right? There wouldn't be no genders in fights in sports. There'd just be everyone fights, right? Meet this weight, everyone fights. And how many women would be champions then if they did that? How many women would be in the top 10? None. None of them would. If they just said, you know what, forget genders, we're just going to go by weight classes now. How many women would be winning? How many women would have a WBA title? 0. So why are you even coming out your mouth and saying this stupid stuff for? Why? Why are you doing that? It's stupid. Verse 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. So women, these proud women are going to lose men, and that's going to cause for them to receive problems. Verse 26, and their gate shall lament and mourn, and Sheen being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So they're going to feel the effects of losing out on those men. But if they was as great as men to be competing with them, that wouldn't bother them. They wouldn't be phased like that, right? Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, and in that day and in what day? The day where they lose all these men that they complain about right now, man, that they try and say they don't need them. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thine name to take away our approach. There ain't going to be no 7 men running up to Clarissa Shields for no salvation, man. If in that day Clarissa Shields has 7 men running up to her, it's going to be for something else, right? And then she's going to get the chance to test out her fighting skills against men, and she's going to come up short, man. So she better watch herself, man. Because it wouldn't take much for Yahweh to put that on her. Or to make her, in her next fight, get hit with a punch that hits the wrong side of her head, and she can't do nothing no more. Can't even talk or nothing like that, man. So she should relax herself instead of getting proud. And that goes for all you women out there, man. Don't start following after women like this that think that they got hands. Because if you watch these videos, you'll see that she's not really doing nothing, man. She ain't really doing nothing to them. Okay, you hit them in their face, so what? Who are these guys? Like, you're not on no level, man. You're not hurting none of them. They probably did about 20 rounds on the bag before even getting in there. They probably got told beforehand, listen, man, just don't even spare her, you know. You know how she gets. You know she thinks she can take men. Just spare her, man. Just move her around. Just use the jab only, man. Or if they hit the woman the wrong way, they'll be like, oh, lighten up on that jab, Deshaun. Lighten up on that jab. Just the jab now, Deshaun, yeah? Just move around, yeah? Move it easy, yeah? They ain't really fighting her for real, man. She thinks they are, because that's what she's doing. All you women want to compete with men, and you want to be equal with men in this category and in that category. You want to be so equal with men in everything. But then at the same time, you're always talking about what you want men to have. All you women that think that you're boss babes, you're rich queens and all of this stuff, then why are you watching what money the man's making then? Why? If a woman making money, her own money, really meant that she's free, right? Well, then she should be free from even caring about what men make anymore. But no, the more money that these women make, the more they care. So they become even more chained towards finances, man. So stop trying to act like you're the shit. Stop trying to get proud, because when Yahweh starts bringing wrath on the earth, you men ain't going to have what it takes, man. Right? Let me get this. You ain't going to have what it takes, man. You all need to relax. All you proud women. And this ain't all women, man. Because there's some women out there that they understand, man, and that they actually are feminine, man. But you've got some women out there that their pride levels have gone through the roof, and they just so badly, really, they wish that they were born men. That's what their real problem is, that they wish that they was a man. That's their real problem. They ain't gonna say that straight out, but that's what they really desire. They really wish that they were men. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9, rise up, ye women are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And that's saying, listen up, man. And this is to a certain particular type of women. Careless women, right? All you women are at ease, man. You gotta be at ease to be calling out men to fights. You're at ease to be doing that. Okay, any woman in a third world country ain't talking under that feminism talk, man. They ain't talking under that. It's only where men have made the world peaceful that women always want to talk all of that noise, man. Want to talk about are we talking about the fake world or the real dog, raw dog world? You don't know. We women don't know about no raw dog world, man. You don't know about no real world right now. Even men don't even know about what a real world is like, man. To a certain degree, they don't understand what all these men that have got money from cryptocurrency and all of these things, right? They don't understand what it would really be like if money don't mean nothing, because people can go into people's houses and steal. Money only has worth when everyone's abiding by the rules of, okay, if I want this item, I need to have this amount of credit notes in order to purchase that. Oh, I wanted this car, but I haven't got enough credit notes in my bank account for that car. So I'm not going to go and steal it because I got to make sure I have enough of these notes to buy this. But when everyone's saying, I don't care if I ain't got the money no more, I've got the physicality to take these things, what are people going to do then? And that's the scenario that Yahweh's setting up, man. Verse 10, many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. Right? Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars. Yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. So America's going to catch it, man. Everywhere that there's Israelites is going to be catching hell, man. Everywhere. Everywhere, man. And the first ones to start realizing that are going to be women. Because women win when the world's at peace, man. Because that's where everyone's more civilized, you know? That's where women can then say, oh, I want a man that makes this amount of money, this height, this amount of this amount of that. That's where they can start getting all that picky stuff going. But when all hell's breaking loose, women will be hoping that they can find a damn space to go toilet in peace. You know? Women can't even just go toilet in public how they want to. Men can. All it takes for a man to do is find a tree, find a bush, and he can wee in it. A woman can't just do that. They have to sit down and squat and all of this stuff, you know? Men don't have to do that. Like it's gonna become a very big realization, man, when you women find out what's really going on out here, man. And I'm gonna end the video there, man. You women need to stop trying to think that you're men. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.